Ladies and gentlemen, life at times is an unyielding force. It tells us no. It slams doors, throws obstacles in our path, and whispers doubts into our hearts. A woman with a dream, a vision, or an ambition is often met with resistance, whether from society, circumstances, or even herself. But here is an unshakable truth. When life says no, God says yes. And that yes is more powerful than any rejection, any failure, or any doubt that stands in the way. History is filled with women who were told they could not, yet they did. They were denied opportunities, overlooked and underestimated, but instead of surrendering, they chose faith over fear. They understood that rejection is not the end of the road, but a redirection towards something greater. A woman's strength is not measured by how easy her path is, but by how relentless she is in rising despite the difficulties. Adversity is not a wall, it is a test. And those who push forward with determination, guided by the certainty that a higher power is leading them, will always find a way. Many times it feels like doors are closing permanently, like dreams are slipping away. But what if those delays, those hardships, were not punishments, but preparations? What if the no from life was only setting the stage for something beyond imagination? Every challenge a woman faces refines her, sharpens her, and strengthens her. The trials that seem unbearable today will be the very reasons she stands taller tomorrow. So to every woman who has ever felt defeated, unheard, or undervalued, know this: no amount of rejection can stop the plan that is destined for you. Keep going, keep believing, and keep rising, because where life says no, God has already declared His yes. Life often presents itself as a series of barriers, especially for women striving to achieve their dreams. It tells them no in 1,000 different ways, through rejection, societal norms, self-doubt, and unforeseen circumstances. But what if these obstacles were not meant to stop progress, but rather to refine and prepare a woman for something greater? Every challenge, every moment of resistance, serves as a stepping stone toward a higher purpose. The world has never been kind to those who seek to rise above mediocrity. The woman who dares to step forward, to chase a dream, to carve out a unique path, will undoubtedly face opposition. She may be told she is not enough, that she lacks the ability, or that she should remain within the boundaries set by tradition. These rejections may feel like walls blocking her from success, but in truth they are lessons, each one an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more determined. Consider the story of countless women throughout history who were met with rejection, only to turn it into triumph. The scientist who was told she could not study because of her gender, the entrepreneur who faced failure after failure before achieving success, the leader who was doubted and ignored until her perseverance proved her worth. They did not stop at the first, second, or even 10th rejection. They understood that a setback was not a final verdict, but merely a test of endurance. When life says no, it is easy to feel discouraged, to believe that perhaps the dream was too ambitious or the goal too far out of reach. But often, the no is simply a redirection. It is life's way of steering a woman toward the right opportunity, the right time, or the right version of herself. A closed door does not mean the journey is over. It means there is another way, one that may not have been considered yet. This is where faith comes in, faith in oneself, faith in the process, and faith in the divine plan that is unfolding. A woman who understands that adversity is temporary and that perseverance leads to breakthroughs will always find a way to rise. She does not allow failures to define her, rather, she allows them to shape her into someone even more capable. Every rejection strengthens her resolve, every disappointment deepens her wisdom, and every challenge refines her character. Growth happens in the face of resistance. A tree does not develop deep roots without strong winds to challenge it. Likewise, a woman does not become unshakable without facing difficulties that demand her resilience. The very things that seem to work against her may actually be working for her, pushing her toward the strength, courage, and wisdom needed to fulfill her purpose. When life says no, it is not the end of the story. It is a stepping stone, a lesson, a preparation for something greater. And when a woman refuses to be defeated by these moments, she positions herself for the yes that will change everything. Fear is one of the greatest barriers standing between a woman and her destiny. It whispers doubts, magnifies obstacles, and convinces her that failure is inevitable. Life often reinforces this fear by placing challenges in her path, rejections, disappointments, and moments where everything seems to be working against her. It is in these moments that she faces a choice: to surrender to fear or to rise with faith. Those who choose faith over fear unlock a power that propels them beyond limitations and into the life they were meant to live. Fear operates through uncertainty. It tells a woman that she is not ready, that she is not capable, and that the risk is too great. It reminds her of past failures, of moments where she tried and did not succeed. It convinces her to remain where she is, to settle for less, and to avoid the possibility of falling again. But faith speaks a different language. Faith tells her that she is more than enough, that she is being prepared for something extraordinary, and that even in the face of obstacles, there is a way forward. Women who rise above fear do not do so because they are fearless. They do so because they trust something greater than their circumstances. They understand that setbacks are temporary, that failures are lessons, and that closed doors are not the end but the beginning of something better. They walk forward not because they have all the answers, but because they know that every step taken in faith leads to greater strength, wisdom, and opportunity. History has shown time and again that the most remarkable women did not achieve greatness because life made it easy for them. They achieved greatness because they refused to let fear dictate their future. The woman who steps into her calling despite uncertainty is the woman who will ultimately break barriers. Fear tells her to wait for the perfect moment. But faith teaches her that the perfect moment is the one she decides to take action. Choosing faith over fear does not mean challenges will disappear. It does not mean that the path will always be smooth or that success will come immediately. What it does mean is that she no longer allows fear to control her decisions. She no longer shrinks in the face of adversity, and she no longer allows the voice of doubt to overpower the voice of purpose. She moves forward, knowing that even if she stumbles, she will rise again. Life will always present reasons to be afraid. There will always be uncertainty, risk, and the possibility of failure. But a woman who chooses faith over fear understands that the greatest risk of all is not taking a chance on herself. She knows that every great achievement begins with belief. Belief in herself, belief in her purpose, and belief that the challenges she faces are not there to break her, but to build her. When she embraces faith, she discovers that the very things she once feared were never meant to stop her, but to strengthen her. Resilience is the defining quality of every woman who has ever risen above challenges, shattered expectations, and created a life beyond the limitations imposed on her. It is not talent alone, nor intelligence, nor privilege that determines success. It is the ability to persist when the world says you cannot. A woman's greatness is not in how easily she succeeds, but in how fiercely she refuses to be defeated. Every woman will face moments when the weight of the world seems unbearable. There will be days when nothing goes as planned, when doors close in her face, when the people she counted on do not believe in her vision. There will be struggles that make her question her worth and failures that tempt her to give up. But resilience is the force that allows her to stand back up, time and time again, despite the obstacles in her path. A woman's resilience is tested in the face of adversity, but it is strengthened in the process. The challenges that seem designed to break her are actually shaping her into the person she needs to become. Just as fire refines gold and pressure forms diamonds, resistance builds a woman's strength. The disappointments she faces, the setbacks she endures, and the hardships she overcomes all contribute to her ability to rise stronger than before. Those who achieve greatness are not those who never face difficulty. They are the ones who refuse to let difficulty define them. They took rejection and turned it into motivation. They transformed failure into a lesson. They embraced struggle not as an enemy but as a teacher. The world does not hand success to anyone. It demands resilience, persistence, and the courage to keep going when everything seems to be falling apart. A woman who is determined to rise does not wait for perfect conditions. She does not wait for permission or for someone else to open doors for her. She creates her own opportunities. She understands that setbacks are not signs to stop, but signals to push forward with greater determination. She recognizes that resilience is not just about enduring hardship. It is about using that hardship to fuel her growth. It is easy to admire strong women, but what is often overlooked is the pain, struggle, and countless battles that forge their strength. Behind every success story is a woman who was told no, but chose to keep going anyway. Behind every triumph is a woman who refused to be defined by failure. Behind every breakthrough is a woman who, despite all odds, believed in herself and her purpose. The world may not always recognize a woman's potential immediately. It may doubt her, challenge her, and place roadblocks in her way. But resilience ensures that none of these obstacles are permanent. A woman's rise is not determined by how many times she falls, but by how many times she refuses to stay down. And when she embraces resilience, she does not just survive, she thrives. Timing is one of the most misunderstood aspects of success. In a world that glorifies instant results, it is easy to become discouraged when things do not happen as quickly as expected. A woman may work tirelessly, give her best effort, and still feel as though she is standing still. Doors may remain closed, opportunities may slip away, and it may seem as though life is passing her by. But what she does not yet see is that every delay, every waiting season, and every seeming setback is part of a greater plan, one that unfolds at exactly the right time. Divine timing is not dictated by human impatience. What may feel like an unanswered prayer or a denied opportunity is often preparation for something better. A woman who understands this does not allow delays to discourage her. Instead, she trusts that every experience, even the difficult ones, is shaping her into the person she needs to be for the future that awaits her. Growth happens in the waiting, and sometimes what seems like stagnation is actually progress beneath the surface. Nature itself teaches the power of timing. A seed does not sprout the moment it is planted. It must first take root in darkness, developing the strength to push through the soil. A tree does not bear fruit in every season. It must endure cycles of growth, dormancy, and renewal. Likewise, a woman's journey is filled with seasons, some for planting, some for learning, and some for harvesting. The challenge is not in the waiting, but in trusting that the right season will come. Many give up too soon because they mistake delay for denial. They assume that because success has not arrived yet, it never will. But a woman who trusts divine timing understands that what is meant for her will never miss her. What is truly hers cannot be taken away by missed chances or temporary disappointments. The key is to stay prepared, to keep growing, and to continue moving forward even when results are not immediately visible. Every woman who has achieved greatness has had to endure seasons of uncertainty. The artist who struggled before recognition, the writer who faced rejection before publishing her masterpiece, the leader who was overlooked before making an impact. All of them had moments when they questioned if their time would ever come. But they did not stop. They trusted that the delays were part of their refinement, that the waiting was preparing them for something greater. And when their moment finally arrived, they were ready. Impatience leads to doubt, but faith and divine timing leads to peace. A woman who embraces this truth does not rush her journey. She does not compare her progress to others, nor does she let frustration derail her. She understands that the best things in life take time, and when the moment is right, everything will align in ways she never imagined. The doors that were once closed will open effortlessly, and the opportunities that seemed lost will return at the perfect moment. What is meant for her is already on its way, arriving exactly when it should. Every struggle a woman faces has a purpose. In the midst of difficulties, it may be hard to see beyond the pain, rejection, or setbacks. But what if every challenge was not meant to break her, but to shape her? What if the very things that seem to work against her are actually working for her? A woman's purpose is often revealed through her struggles, refining her strength, deepening her wisdom, and preparing her for the impact she is meant to make in the world. Struggles are not punishments. They are not signs that she is unworthy or incapable. Instead, they are lessons, opportunities to grow, to develop resilience, and to uncover the depths of her potential. When a woman is tested by adversity, she has a choice: to let it define her as a victim, or to use it as a stepping stone towards something greater. Those who rise above their hardships do not do so because they never face difficulties, but because they refuse to let those difficulties hold them back. Many of the strongest, most successful women have walked through seasons of pain, rejection, and disappointment. They have been told they were not good enough, that their dreams were too ambitious, that they did not belong. They have faced losses, failures, and moments of doubt, but rather than allowing these experiences to crush them, they chose to use them as fuel. They understood that their struggles were not obstacles, but part of their preparation. Growth happens in discomfort. Strength is built through resistance. Just as muscles become stronger through pressure, a woman becomes more powerful when she overcomes challenges that once seemed impossible. Every time she pushes past fear, doubt, or failure, she proves to herself that she is capable of more than she ever imagined. The woman who refuses to give up, even when the odds are against her, is the woman who discovers the true extent of her power. Adversity does not mean a woman is on the wrong path. Often it is confirmation that she is on the right one. The greater the purpose, the greater the resistance. But challenges do not exist to stop her. They exist to prepare her. They refine her character, sharpen her vision, and ensure that when she reaches her destination, she is ready to handle it. Without struggle, there is no growth. Without hardship, there is no transformation. A woman's story is not defined by the difficulties she encounters, but by how she chooses to respond to them. She may not have control over every obstacle that comes her way, but she has control over her mindset, her perseverance, and her determination to rise. She is not broken by struggle. She is built by it. And when she finally steps into her purpose, she will look back and realize that every challenge, every delay, and every difficulty was shaping her into the woman she was always meant to become. Her struggles were never a sign of defeat. They were proof that she was destined for more. There is a moment in every woman's life when she questions whether she has the strength to keep going. She faces obstacles that seem too large, setbacks that feel too painful, and disappointments that shake her confidence. In these moments, it is easy to wonder if all the effort, all the struggle, and all the sacrifices are worth it. But what if these very challenges were not meant to stop her, but to prove that she is capable of more than she ever imagined? What if the difficulties she faces are not there to define her limits, but to show her that she has none? A woman's greatest breakthroughs often come after her hardest battles. It is in the moments when she feels like giving up that she is closest to transformation. Growth does not happen in comfort. It happens in the moments of struggle, in the times when she is forced to dig deeper, to push harder, and to rise above circumstances that were meant to hold her back. Every time she chooses to keep going despite fear, despite doubt, and despite exhaustion, she is proving to herself that she is stronger than she thought. The world may try to convince her that she is not enough. It may tell her that she is too ambitious, too bold, or too different to succeed. But history is written by the women who refused to listen, the ones who were told no and still found a way to say yes to themselves, the ones who took every rejection and used it as motivation, the ones who faced failure and understood that it was not the end, it was just part of the journey. Success does not happen overnight, nor does it come without struggle. Every woman who has ever achieved greatness has had to face moments of uncertainty, moments of pain, and moments where the easiest choice would have been to quit, but she didn't. She kept going, even when the results were not immediate, even when progress felt slow, and even when no one else believed in her, because deep down, she knew that she was meant for more. The power to rise has always been inside of her. It is not something she has to find, it is something she has to believe in. The moment she decides that she will not allow setbacks to break her, she becomes unstoppable. She realizes that every challenge is preparing her for something greater. Every difficulty is shaping her character, and every moment of struggle is giving her the strength she will need for the future. A woman's journey is never defined by the challenges she faces, but by how she overcomes them. And when she refuses to give up, when she chooses to believe in herself despite the odds, she steps into a power that cannot be taken away. She is not just surviving, she is rising. She is proving that no setback, no rejection, and no challenge is stronger than the fire within her. And when she finally reaches her breakthrough, she will know that every struggle, every delay, and every difficulty was leading her exactly where she was meant to be. Every challenge, every setback, and every moment of doubt has a purpose. A woman's rise is not determined by how easy her path is, but by how fiercely she refuses to be stopped. Life may say no time and time again, but those rejections are not final. They are not barriers meant to keep her from her destiny. They are stepping stones leading her toward it. The struggles she faces are not signs of defeat, but signs of growth. They are shaping her, strengthening her, and preparing her for something greater. She may not always see the progress immediately, but every moment of perseverance is a brick in the foundation of her success. Each time she chooses to believe in herself, each time she takes another step despite fear, she is proving that she was never meant to stay small. She was meant to rise. Faith, resilience, and purpose are the keys to a woman's breakthrough. She does not need to wait for permission, for validation, or for the perfect moment. She only needs to trust that she is already equipped with everything she needs to succeed. The delays are not denials, the struggles are not signs to stop, and the doubts do not define her. She is greater than every obstacle she faces, and the very things that seem to work against her will one day be the reasons she succeeds. The world may not always recognize her strength immediately, but she does not rise for recognition. She rises because she was made for more. And when the moment comes, when everything she has fought for finally aligns, she will look back and realize that nothing was wasted. Every rejection, every hardship, and every season of waiting was leading her exactly where she was meant to be. She was never meant to stay where she started. She was meant to rise. And when life says no, she will remember that there is a greater yes waiting for her. One that will change everything.